completion of the course, the student should be able to define concepts and techniques of multimedia computing and its importance.
Overview of this chapter. Creation of multimedia images. Creation of still images. Color and palettes in multimedia images. File types in multimedia. Creation of multimedia images. Before commencing the creation of images in multimedia, you should plan your approach using flow charts and storyboards. Organize the available tools, and have multiple monitors, if possible, for lots of screen real estate. Creation of still images. Still images are generated in two ways, bitmaps and vector-drawn graphics. Bitmaps. A bitmap is a data matrix describing the individual dots of an image. Bitmap is derived from the words bit, which means the simplest element in which only 2 digits are used, and map, which is a two-dimensional matrix of these bits. Bitmapped images are known as paint graphics. A bitmap is made up of individual dots or picture elements known as pixels or pels. Bitmapped images can have varying bit and color depths. One bitmap dithered. Each pixels is either on or off. The image is dithered by computer to best represent by whole. 8-bit, grayscale. Each pixel is represented by a value of up to 256 shades of gray. 8-bit, not dithered, each pixel is represented by a value drawn from a palette of up to 256 colors. 8-bit dithered. Each pixel is represented by a value drawn from a palette of up to 256 colors. Neighboring pixels have been dithered. 24-bit. True color. Each pixel is represented by a value ranging from 1 to 256 each for red, green, and blue, yielding 16,777,216 possible colors. Bitmaps can be inserted by using clip arts galleries, using bitmap software, capturing and editing images, scanning images, using clip art galleries. A clip art gallery is an assortment of graphics, photographs, sound, and video. Clip art is a popular alternative for users who do not want to create their own images. Clip art collections are available on CD-ROMs and on the Internet. Using bitmap software, the industry standard programs for bitmap painting and editing are Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, and Corel Draw graphics software. Capturing and editing images. The print screen key in Windows or the Command-Shift-4 key combination on the Macintosh copies the screen image to the clipboard. Capturing and storing images directly from the screen is another way to assemble images for multimedia. Image editing programs enable the user to enhance and make composite images. Alter and distort images. Add and delete elements. Morph. Morphing software was used to seamlessly transform the images of 16 kindergartners. When a soundtrack of music and voices was added to the 4-minute piece, it made a compelling video about how similar children are to each other. Users can scan images from conventional sources and make necessary alterations and manipulations. Exposure from alien skin allows users to manipulate bitmapped images. Here a digital color image has been processed to look like it came from a darkroom. Vector-drawn graphic are used in areas of computer-aided design (CAD) programs. 3D animation programs, graphic artists designing for the print media. Applications requiring drawing of graphic shapes. Drawing software such as Adobe Illustrator can save vector graphics in SVG format.
Vector graphics are computer images made using a sequence of commands that create lines and shapes in 2D or 3D spaces. A vector graphics file is a sequence of points to be connected, like a game of connect the dots. Vector graphics differ from raster graphics, which are made up of individually colored pixels that provide subtle colored gradations, but leave images with ragged edges when scaled up. Vector graphics feature smooth shapes but are limited to one color for each shape. Learn more about the benefits of scalable vector graphics for web projects in the link above or in the description below. Graphic artists, illustrators, and designers use vector graphics for many things like app and web development, animation, and computer-aided design. They are best suited for non-photographic uses where detail and color depth aren't paramount, like logos, illustrations, and large images like billboards. Some vector graphic advantages include scalability, as the smooth lines and curves appear clean and exact at any size. Small file size, as storing a few vector points in code is less memory intensive than storing pixels. And relatively easy editing, duplication, and loading. Some disadvantages include less detail, especially with color shading and blending. More skill and time required to create, as it requires specialized software and design know-how. Limited browser support, as some older browsers don't support SVG files, but usually support raster formats like PNG and JPEG. And inconsistency between applications, depending on the rendering compatibility. What kind of graphics do you prefer, and for what use cases? Let us know in the comment section below, and be sure to hit that like button.
Vector-drawn images. Vector images use less memory space and have a smaller file size as compared to bitmaps. For the web, pages that use vector graphics in plugins download faster and, when used for animation, draw faster than bitmaps. Vector images cannot be used for photorealistic images. Vector images require a plugin for web-based display. The second is advantages of bitmaps. Bitmaps are not easily scalable and resizable. Bitmaps can be converted to vector images using auto tracing.
3D drawing and rendering. 3D drawing and rendering tools. On 3D we use DAZ 3D models and 3D software, Autodesk's Form Z software, Lightwave 3D software, Autodesk Maya LT software. Features of a 3D application is extrusion, modeling, lathing. Extrusion, the shape of a plane surface extends some distance. Modeling, placing all the elements into 3D space. Lathing, a profile of the shape is rotated around a defined axis. These are example of how extruding and lathing process take place when in 3D software. Colors and palettes. Understanding natural light and color. Light comes from an atom where an electron passes from a higher to a lower energy level. Each atom produces uniquely specific colors. Color is the frequency of a light wave within the narrow band of the electromagnetic spectrum to which the human eye responds. Additive color. In the additive color method, a color is created by combining colored light sources in three primary colors: red, green, and blue (RGB). Subtractive color. In the subtractive color method, color is created by combining colored media such as paints or ink. The colored media absorb or subtract some parts of the color spectrum of light and reflect the others back to the eye. Subtractive color also used in the process used to create color in printing. The printed page consists of tiny halftone dots of three primary colors: cyan, magenta, and yellow (CMY). Monitor-specific colors. Colors should be used according to the target audience's monitor specifications. The preferred monitor resolution is 800 x 600 pixels. The preferred color depth is 32 bits. Color palettes. Palettes are mathematical tables that define the color of pixels displayed on the screen. Palettes are called color lookup tables, or CLUTs, on the Macintosh. The most common palettes are 1, 4, 8, 16, and 24 bits deep. Dithering. Dithering is a process whereby the color value of each pixel is changed to the closest matching color value in the target palette. This is done using a mathematical algorithm. These images were dithered in Photoshop to best fit the 8-bit palettes of GIF files, adaptive, system, or custom 216 Netscape. Also shown are JPEG files compressed with highest and lowest quality and their actual file sizes. Note the subtle differences among palettes and systems, especially in the gradient blue background. Image file types used in multimedia, Macintosh formats. Windows formats. Cross-platform formats. Macintosh formats. On the Macintosh, the most commonly used format is PICT. PICT is a complicated and versatile format developed by Apple. Almost every image application on the Macintosh can import or export PICT files. In a PICT file, both vector-drawn objects and bitmaps can reside side by side. Windows formats. The most commonly used image file format on Windows is DIB, also known as BMP. DIB stands for Device-Independent Bitmaps. Bitmap formats used most often by Windows developers are BMP, a Windows bitmap file; TIFF, extensively used in DTP packages; PCX, used by MS-DOS Paint software; Cross-platform formats, JPEG, GIF, and PNG, most commonly used format on the web. Adobe Portable Document Format (PDF) manages multimedia content. PSD, AI, CDR, DXF, proprietary formats used by applications. Initial Graphics Exchange Standard (IGS or IGES) standard for transferring CAD drawings. Collada 3D standard for transferring 3D files. KML keyhole markup language and KMZ a zipped package of KML files and images. XML text-based formats used by Google for mapping. Image file compression, lossy formats. Example is JPEG files. Lossless formats. Example is PSD, PSP, PNG, GIF, BMP RAW files. Summary. Color is one of the most vital components of multimedia. The computer generates still images as bitmaps and vector-drawn images. Images can be incorporated in multimedia using clip art or bitmap software, or by capturing, editing, or scanning images. Creating 3D images involves modeling, extruding, lathing, shading, and rendering.